President Joe Biden is ordering the release of 1 million barrels of oil per day from the nation's Strategic Petroleum Reserve for 6 months in a bid to control energy prices. Those prices have spiked as the U.S. and allies have imposed steep sanctions on Russia over its invasion of Ukraine. The White House says Biden will make the formal announcement later Thursday in remarks on his administration's plans to combat rising gas prices. The White House says Biden will also call on Congress to impose financial penalties on oil and gas companies that lease public lands but aren't producing energy.
Right now, oil and gas industry is sitting on nearly 9,000 unused but approved permits for production on federal lands, or more than 1 million unused acres they have a right to pump on. Families can't afford to let companies sit on their hands. So, to help execute this first part of my plan, I'm calling for a use it or lose it policy. Congress should make companies pay fees on wells on federal leases they haven't used in years, and acres of public land they're hoarding without production. Companies that are already producing from these wells won't be affected, but those sitting on unused leases and idle wells will either have to start producing or pay the price for their inaction. Look, the action I'm calling for will make a real difference over time. But the truth is, it takes months, not days, for companies to increase production. That's why the next part of my plan is so important. Today, I'm authorizing the release of 1 million barrels per day for the next 6 months, over 180 million barrels from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. This is a wartime bridge to increase oil supply until production ramps up later this year. And it is by far the largest release of our national reserve in our history.